Well, hey there, darlings. Welcome back to Heart with Mama. I am real glad you're here because today we're chewing on a big old topic, one that's as sticky as honey and just as sweet once you get a taste for it. We're going to talk about forgiveness. Now, don't fret. I ain't about to preach at you or sugarcoat it. Forgiveness is something I've wrestled with myself more than once. Now, first off, let's set the record straight. Forgiveness ain't about forgetting, and it sure as heck ain't excusing what someone did. That's like leaving the barn door wide open and hoping your horses don't wander. Forgiveness is different. There's this fella, Dr. Fred Luskin, a researcher over at Stanford. Now, I might be pronouncing his last name wrong, but he's been doing real science on forgiveness. His research shows forgiving someone, even for small stuff, gives you better emotional well-being. We're talking less stress, better sleep, warmer relationships. I mean, he talks about literally rewiring your stress response. Let me tell you, years back, my neighbor, bless her heart, accidentally left the pasture gate unlatched, and my horses ended up eating half her vegetable garden and throwing a parade through my corn. I was steamed, but stewing over it, honestly, it just ate away at me. And I stewed for months. Once I made up my mind to forgive her, it was like unclogging the pipes inside. I didn't forget, and we set some new rules with that latch and coming on my property, but letting go brought me peace. We had a nice laugh about it later on. Resentment just adds extra weight, and honey, we all got enough to carry already. Now, that story leads me to something real important. Healing's not just about you, it's about community too. You may have heard about Archbishop Desmond Tutu. I think we've mentioned him before, and all the hard, faithful work he did toward reconciliation in South Africa. Those folks faced some mighty big wounds, but he guided whole communities through forgiveness, not by pretending nothing happened, but by facing it all. Pain and grit and tears with vulnerability, grace, and patience. Forgiveness, as clinical psychologist Dr. Janice Abrams Spring says, isn't a one-step hop. There's a process. First, you got to name and own your hurt, even if it's ugly. Let yourself feel it. Ugly cry if you need to. Then, this next part isn't easy. You got to talk about it, whether that's with the person, your journal, or your trusted friend. And don't forget to set healthy boundaries so the same thing doesn't sting you twice. Oh, and here's me being honest with y'all. I once had a blowout with a friend. It was about a property line on the farm. Classic rural drama, right? Words were said, feelings hurt, weeks went by. Finally, I swallowed my stubbornness like cold medicine and reached out first. Apologized for my part, listened to her side, and let myself get vulnerable. It was a rough conversation, but deep down, we did value one another. That's when the healing started for both of us. So, how do we bring that healing into our homes, into marriages, families, all the wild little hives we live in? Well, the Gottman Institute, they study couples, been at it for decades, found that folks who practice forgiveness are happier in love. It's like watering your tomatoes during a dry spell. Small, kind acts add up, and forgiveness is the fertilizer. Now, releasing a grudge, that's hard work. Try journaling. I know some of you are thinking, Mama, I ain't got time for scribbling. But even jotting down a few honest sentences can help. Or truly listening to someone's side without interrupting or trying to defend yourself. Or sitting quiet and reflecting on your own heart. That's all grub for the soul. And don't forget, forgiving yourself matters too. I remember one summer I misread the almanac and planted sweet corn a month too early, lost half the crop, and stewed about it for weeks. But when I finally let myself off the hook, I found I was kinder to my family and even my ornery rooster. Like I always say, just like tending to my bees, sometimes you got to get stung to learn. So I got a little challenge for you. This week, Try forgiving one person, or maybe even yourself for something. Doesn't have to be big. See what happens. And let me know if you feel that peace trickling in. But here's the thing, forgiveness ain't just for major betrayals or family feuds. It's a daily practice, like brushing your teeth or feeding the hens. Next time someone forgets to rinse the dishes or tracks mud through the house, try letting it go without a fuss. You'll be amazed how light your spirit can feel. You can make it a habit. Maybe set aside a few minutes every evening to reflect. Ask yourself, did I hold on to anything today that's worth putting down? Journaling helps, or just sit in a spell in silence, breathing deep. If you caught episode 3, you know I love a good pause and breathe moment. I like to keep a little forgiveness ritual handy. For me, it's lighting a candle while I sip tea and whisper an old affirmation. Today I release, tomorrow I welcome. Doesn't have to be fancy, but repeating it trains your heart for kindness, first toward yourself, then toward others. All right, sugar, that's plenty to chew on for now. I hope you carry a little more lightness as you practice forgiveness today and every day. Be kind to yourself, just as you would to your best old friend. We'll keep growing together, one heart to heart at a time. Catch you all next episode.